Hello, my name is Aileen Ann Gordon, and I'm thrilled to be a finalist in this year's Fingal Poetry Prize. My poem is called Harebells. Always we meet in the same lane, the one framed by hawthorn hedge. My mother's head is nodding with that turkey gobbling motion left behind by her stroke. Always it is just the two of us, time together on our own like it seldom was. A brightening of her sometimes vacant eyes, a one-sided twitch of a smile when she sees me. I'm picking harebells, clover, vetch and jarrow for the kitchen table jar. Together we wander home to sit beneath the rowan tree my father planted 50 years ago. Above our heads a blackie comes and goes. No need to talk. Always we watch and wait until the sun's last rays have vanished and Mr. Campbell's bonfire smoke drifts past before she rises, pats my hand, fades away.
My name is Eamon McInnes, and this is my poem, Blood Harmonies. Early morning I take the child, and we walk to Spider Hill. In my bones sit remnants of the night with her, reflux dreams, devil's ivy, Judas trees. My steps are rusty, she holds my hand. Raindrop eyes on a killer stretch of road. Her legs fail near the river, the arms splay, the pits open. I exhale on the lift and carry her uphill. My feet are cool on the dew grass, the urban moon on top of the roofs. Prone to joy, we test our voices on the open air. Words of the future, tomorrow, mañana, later, luego. Our blood harmonies soar. I teach her nothing. She shows me what is around. I had stopped looking years ago. We don't linger at the peak. She should sleep now, but does not. I hold her like a newborn. The river is still. It is the morning of the year, and I am wantless. By sunrise, my legs are weakening. One morning, I will take this child and bring her home.
The poem is called Rosebuds, which is a reference to the 17th century poet Robert Herrick, who wrote the famous poem, Gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Rosebuds. Hey, you, my love, wake up. Chuck your book and look how my eyes, which tend towards gray, have turned blue, bluer, bluest, because I'm high on air, each intoxicating breath an orgy of roses. Listen for your life. People think we're old. The hell, I say. Look how our souls light the mirror, a dazzle of color and sparks, and the tables awash in honey. Smear it now, quick, on your lips, on my hair. Smear it everywhere. My God, the taste. Has there ever been anything like it? Anywhere? What's that? My feet? You want to look? It's crossed your mind I've sprouted hooves? Not a chance, old man. Grab my hand and fly with me up into the night sky. Oh, my love, my sweet, we will sing to the stars as the planets shudder with delight. Who cares if the neighbor's dog howls? Let's do it, do it, do it now. I'd like to thank the Fingal Poetry Festival for the opportunity to read this poem.
My name is Rory Duffy, and this poem is called Dinner at Chernobyl. Under the hum of atom workers' mundane chit-chat, Cossack-faced women deal out pickled cabbage and hard bread. Their white hats are like cooling towers, fused to their overheated heads. While pots boil over and plates crash down on the worktops, they scoop and dollop, ladle and serve, the steam of their past rising like phantoms in the canteen air. At the door, we are exposed to the alpha males, tobacco-handed and broad-shouldered. They emit words about wind direction, lost friends and liquidators. The dogs that orbit their legs go by the names Proton and Neutron. They beam smiles as they enrich the soft-faced tourists with their Ukrainian joke, Electron died last snow. Outside, the sky is isotope clear. Only the cricket cone of a Geiger counter shaves the air, widening the eyes of those not familiar with this new song. Here, the animals are sleek and fast breeders. They make new shapes between the stripes of trees and await a new dawn to reappear. As we leave the zone, I recall Alexander Fedotov. Somebody had to do it, he said, half a day before his life ended. Now I wonder how long until we all lie down on the slow conveyor belt that chugs away from the shiny arc of that great sarcophagus dome.
My name is Tamsin Hopkins, and I'm so thrilled to be placed in the Fingal Poetry Competition, so thank you so much for that. This is my poem Vellum. An old map, illuminated, gold leaf, emerald, lapis, carmine, a castle, a village, a forest. At the cusp of the woods, a red figure stands ready, a hood hiding her eyes. Under Granny's wax paper snack of gherkin, wurst and pretzel hides a girlish Germanic surprise, an axe and a double-edged spear. Go deep within and find, in a leafy glade, Snow White, who lies quite still, watching from her casket. That's a huntsman's heart she has in her pocket. She's sweetened the 7 monomaniacs and dodged the sociopath's apple. Now she waits, a doe-eyed, dirndled, cleavaged honey, for a prince, so charming in his thigh-length boots, all stallion jangle. Up at the castle, it's pumpkin for dinner again. The shoe fetishist sleeps off his orange risotto whilst, dressed in glass, the queen of the waltz decodes a message from her verminous associates. They've found a door to an unknown chamber, an arch-shaped door, fretted, decked out in come hither ironwork curls. Smiling in the lock sits a silver filigree key. Thank you very much.
Rory Duffy, and the poem is called A Lake Dweller's Death. Slowly, the oars are let into the grasp of the skinny finger water. They dip their spade heads, scratching at the jagged bed like sleepless teeth. Out from the shore, the dry leather saddles begin to creak their mummified song until an arthritic hand scoops water and salves their cries. As the beat begins, the heron-grey water presses itself through the staves and into the white shirt sleeves of 2 strong forearms. We move, humming with the strum of the lake's throbbing heart. Its rippled beat rattles at our black-trousered seats. Out from the pocked shore, we push his final journey, slipping across the skin of the lake. The knife of the keel splits it like the crack of a steel blade on dry, flotsam wood. It unzips the watery veneer into Westmeath and Roscommon, Leinster and Connacht. We pass Whinion, the Long Shoal, and the Cribbies, before brushing into the shelter of a reedy bay. As a westerly breeze begins to pick the white tops off the slate waves, we move gently towards the other shore, grinding Hullwood, announcing our message to step ashore. We snake up the hillside towards the lean of the cemetery, shouldering the teak of his hard work body, until we stand by the open grave. As the sun begins to cut into the crimson horizon, we watch, breathless and fire-handed, as his final birth begins.
Hey there, Partridge Boswell here in Vermont, wishing you a happy festival, and thanks to the organizers for celebrating poetry and poets, and for selecting this poem, The New Math. There may still be time to find the cosine of x. Under an alamode mountain of leases and loans, didn't I taste the square root of pie's flaky crust? Didn't I just use the fundamental theorem to calculate a grocery bill and traffic antiderivatives to prove I'd never plagiarize your amorous mood? Witting or otherwise, I suspect the algorithm predicting how hard my heart can love you hasn't yet been adduced. Likewise, how fast your flight from Cincinnati will get to this bedroom, traveling at y miles per second, given a hypothetical jet small enough to land neatly between dresser and bed. I usually just Google map it. I have plenty of word problems without integrating integers. Sure as Heisenberg, I admire the imperfect geometry of our home floating on the welter of a flood we saw coming through Hubble's backward-facing scope, though I forget the exact qubits, or to show my work. Counting helps with sheep and contractions to get us through contradictions' rough patches. And who can resist the cold comfort in numbers never lie? Only people do. I study the logarithmic swoop of your nape, foregoing Google candles on the cake. Maybe it's not too late to disentangle imaginary roots of polynomials and transcendentals, sled curved slopes of snow, and reckon pebbles on the beach. It won't nonplus or minus me if our world's a grain of sand, infinitesimal as you and me, one day supine on another shore, where, despite our best calculations, there is no variable y, and time no longer counts or applies as a function of fear to ignore what's here. A shore where there is no sign that says, swim at your own risk. Only the tangent when, after a life of coming infinitely close, we touch. Thanks for listening. Cheers.
Hello, I'm John Bayliss Post. This poem is called Christmas, Puerto del Carmen. 23 Celsius, hardly any breeze. Regulars, aging brown hide below ample shorts, half-litres of Tropical masquerading as pints, with the special full roast. No sprouts, though, and the stuffing's garlicky. The self-conscious ones have tapas and Sauvignon Blanc, secretly judgmental about the winter holiday crew and their fish and chips. Okay, but not cod. There's half-hearted tinsel around the sun hats and a battered Father Christmas by the till. A few went to church, in slacks, of course. Respect for the carols, sung without meaning, but it's a childhood comfort. The service in English. One or two prefer Nuestra Senora, smells and bells, but the carols aren't Christmassy. Afterwards, it will be sunblock and maybe a swim. It's not like braving the ice on the Serpentine. They'll see it on widescreen in the Irish pub. No one watches the news, not even for the Queen. They've learned to look askance at news from home.